wanted to recap a little trade I did here at this little warehouse meetup on Saturday, 23rd, September 23rd, 2023. Meetup we did gather games for a fundraiser for a guy in our community who had a bunch of flood damage and loss in Hurricane Idalia or some crap, the one that rode the coastline. And didn't get blasted by winds or anything, but bad flooding in certain areas, and he lost a bunch of stuff. So, trying to do what we can to raise some money. So, turned out it was kind of a short notice, and it was just like, hey, if anybody has games to donate them. And our next upcoming big event, we'll be selling a bunch of games where the proceeds go to help Frank out. So, that's the backstory. Wasn't a great turnout, but one of our super regular members in the community, Jared Pearson, had these games and a bunch of other stuff, and I rarely try to do trades with him. I think I've learned my lesson with him that I gotta just present some stuff to him. I gotta show him some cool stuff. The thing I showed him, I was like, yo, you wanna trade for Illbleed on Dreamcast? It's like, really? You let me trade for that? You know, I don't have anything that's like similar. It's like that. I'm not trying to do like 1-to-1, one game for one game. It's like you got a bunch of stuff I like. So I traded all this stuff for a copy of Illbleed on Dreamcast complete and missing cartridge. Excuse me, missing cartridge, case manual only for Super Princess Peach on DS. Values were, I had the Illbleed marked at 300. But it's come down over the past few months. It was an old sticker. I'm still like, man, I'm taking a bunch of lower end stuff, trading up for this. Like, I want to call Illbleed 260, call Princess Peach 40. Pretty square values actually on both. Illbleed's maybe a little high valuation there, but again, trading down. So these are the kind of trades I'll do all day long. I feel like I'm pretty easy to work with. Like, I'm always willing to move whatever for interesting, for cool stuff. Now, I won't just take in whatever, but when somebody has a good variety of quality obscure stuff, it's not all very obscure, but it's good bang for your buck. High liquidity stuff that maybe has a little upside too. I've got a few Minecrafts now, and it's like, man, maybe in a year or two, turn out 360 Minecraft is worth $30 or something. This will be a fun video to revisit in a few years, see if I'm right about that. But it's like, just got a weird feeling. So when Minecraft is cheap now, take it. Orange box called like 25, which I just felt like, man, isn't that more? So a lot of these I was just asking, like, he had numbers in mind for all this stuff. It's like, what are you thinking? Tecmo Vol was like $10 CIV, so it's like, yeah, man, just sounds good, can't go wrong. Bangai he called 40. I looked into it. It's like, ooh, the eBay floor for buy it now is higher than 40. It's like north of 50. So, fuck yeah, seems like good value. Now, this game was hitting like 160 during the GameCube apocalypse. Everyone was freaking out for a full set. I feel like that was happening maybe just before pandemic, and definitely into the first 6 months. Stimulus definitely went into GameCube, cranked up GameCube. Way more than, say, 64. 64's big apocalypse was like a year ago. But GameCube, dating back 2.5 years ago or so, this is like a $160 game. On eBay now, it's like slid down to like 80, 90 territory. Nice CIB of like one of those titles that your full set guys need when they're down to just a dozen or so left. So, very rare GameCube game. I like that. No gameplay merit. This is on Xbox also. It's pretty uncommon on Xbox too, but I don't think it's one that, you know, you thirst for because, man, that gameplay looks good. Unlike, here's a rare one that's cool on GameCube. I actually have it here. Let me show you. This is one with some cool publisher, cool exclusivity. You see that? Only 4? Tube Slider, man. A little F-Zero clone. Published by NEC. How bizarre, huh? That's a rare and has some gameplay demand behind it. That's a cool one. We're in this Slot Car Thunder, Groove Rider. Not so cool, but just really rare. Took that in. This is one where I'm just like, what? Is this real? This isn't Mega Drive. This came out on Genesis. Why have I never seen this? It's not very expensive either. Called this one $15. Notice on the manual here, though. Look at that. It's a Konami game. So, probably a shitty game, but it's one I've never seen. Pretty uncommon 3DS game here with Jaws. That's pretty uncommon. A couple just reseller juice right here. This would be good for the conventions. Trade that to Devin. 2 Phoenix Wright games. He can't get enough of those. Just easy mover here. Needs a buff. 1080 Avalanche, good liquidity, and just solid NES cards. Look at that. I got a box manual ready to go. All this here, I could do a valuation breakdown, but it's pretty apparent, right? If I were to call that one like 85, 40, 25, you know, that's like damn near half of it. Throw this in, this is a 30er. Now I'm like more than halfway there. And the other 300 is a little less than, you know, maybe like 130 or so with these guys. And there you go, that's an Illbleed and a Super Princess Peach missing cart for a person that has the cart. Like, that's perfect. I feel like a lot of collectors would favor the Illbleed and Princess Peach side. So I feel like my flexibility allows for a lot of trade potential. I'm willing to take in odds and ends. Very diverse with what I like. I know most people just want the heavies. They want Rule of Rose. They want Illbleed. They want those expensive horror games, those expensive RPGs. I don't mind trading them out when I feel like they've really topped out in value. You know, if I get one for a decent price, say I put $200 into an Illbleed and I can trade it out for $260 value and get this kind of stuff, like I'll rinse and repeat and keep doing that. So I like these kind of trades though. I need to that's my intention of showing these videos. Like, I hope people realize, like, there's a lot of freaks out there that have good high-end stuff that'll just trade down. It's not always like trying to trade up. So there you go. That was a cool trade. Not much else happened as far as trades. Just little rinky-dink stuff here and there. Some light sales, mostly just acquiring those donation titles for the fundraiser. So that's about it.